And moving on to West Africa now, the Junta-led Burkina Faso has refused to accept deportees from the United States in a snub to one of President Donald Trump's signature migration policies. Rejecting the deportations, Burkina Faso's military government said the U.S. proposal is indecent and runs completely contrary to the principle of human dignity. Since Trump's return to the White House, his administration has struck several migration deals, deporting people to third countries, often to nations with which they have no connection. This is a part of a sweeping immigration crackdown, high on Trump's agenda. A growing number of African nations have accepted U.S. deportees, including Eswatini, Ghana, Rwanda, Uganda, and South Sudan. Other countries include El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama, and Honduras. Burkina Faso has refused to join the list. Now, just ahead of Burkina Faso's refusal, the U.S. Embassy in Ouagadougou announced the suspension of regular visa services for most citizens. Instead, the Burkinabe citizens will now have their visa services handled in Lomé, the capital of neighboring Togo. Now, the Burkinabe government has accused the U.S. of exerting pressure and has called it blackmail. The country's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, styles himself as an anti-imperialist, pan-African strongman. Since seizing power in a coup in September of 2022, he has shunned France and the West. The country has ousted all Western troops and has forged closer ties with Russia. Now, apart from Burkina Faso, Nigeria also refused to accept Venezuelan deportees or third country prisoners from the U.S., stating that it will not bow to pressure from the Trump administration. While the move by some African nations to accept deportees is seen as a way to maintain ties with the U.S., such deals have faced ethical and legal challenges, both internationally and within the United States. Critics argue that some deportees face unsafe or inhumane conditions upon return. For example, in Ghana, migrants deported last month have filed a lawsuit against the government, alleging illegal detention in a military camp. Lawyers say their clients were dumped in neighboring Togo and are now left to fend for themselves. Several observers argue that with such deportations, Africa is becoming a dumping ground for Western nations, while the people of several of these countries face crises of their own. Even though several African nations have continued to strike deportation deals, Burkina Faso's standoff highlights that resistance to the pressure from the West still remains strong in Africa.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.